I sure wish he would go away.
Go away.
Oh. We have some wasps that are trying to make homes out here. And I have a pretty big fear of bees and wasps and stingy things. I don't know why. I've never been stung by one, and maybe that's the problem because I don't know what it feels like. But they freak me out. So if I get up and run, that's what it is. That there is a wasp too close to me for my comfort. Next, we're going to prepare our potatoes because I'm going to work on getting the potato beds prepared today, and it'll take the potatoes about a day or two to kind of seal over after I cut them before I can plant them. So I'm going to go ahead and get them cut up, and then once the heat of the day passes, we usually try to start working in the garden about 3, 4-ish, where the sun's starting to set and it cools off. So I'm going to work on preparing my potatoes while I wait on that to happen. That way I will be ready to plant them in the next few days. I am actually pretty late on getting my potatoes planted for our area. It's fine. We have a really hot, long growing season, so I'm not terribly worried about it. But I wish I had got them in the garden sooner. I do have some sweet potato slips in water. I stuck these in water yesterday. They've not rooted yet. So those are not ready to go in the ground yet at all. I have more sweet potatoes still growing slips, so I will continuously put them in water and then plant them as they're ready. But it's still probably going to be 2 weeks before I can even get sweet potato slips in the ground. But we're just doing what we can, when we can. We'll have a garden planted, whether we'll get everything in it that we want or get as good of a harvest as we want since we're getting some of it in late. You know, it's all just remaining to be seen, but we're gonna try. So for seed potatoes, I got these blue Adirondack seed potatoes from Tractor Supply. And then I have grocery store organic potatoes. These come from Walmart. They're just the random Walmart marketplace organic potatoes. I have them in both gold Idahos and the normal Idaho russet potatoes. So if you're not new to my channel, you may have seen my video from last garden season where I tried to grow potatoes from store-bought potatoes, and that did not go so hot. They were just some random potatoes that got left and got stuck in the back of the cabinet or something, and they sprouted really long, and I just thought, well, let's try it. So I did. But the problem was I tried it really late in the season, and so they didn't get to full maturity. And I'm talking like I had some that were penny-sized potatoes. They were so incredibly small. It was so funny. It did not work out very well. But I'm going to try again getting them in the ground earlier in the season using organic potatoes that have sprouted. We're going to give it another shot because I know a lot of people out there are interested in growing from store-bought potatoes, and I really want to know, can you do it? So whether you plant seed potatoes or store-bought potatoes, it's really easy to prepare them to plant. A lot easier than sweet potatoes. So you take your potato with all its beautiful eyes and you cut it so that you have at least 2 eyes, and there's some that are not fully sprouted. That's an eye too. At least 2 eyes on each section. You can have more eyes. That's just going to give you, you know, less pieces and a bigger harvest. You can actually plant these whole. You just have less to plant at that point. So now after you cut it up, you just let it sit for a day or 2 and let those sides kind of scab over. No, baby, these aren't for eating. These are for the garden. And that's all you have to do. That one's a little gnarly looking.
Oh, what are those?
Those are called eyes.
Yeah.
That's what grows new potatoes.
Yeah.
Whoa, those are pretty.
Wow. What are those?
Look at these purple potatoes. Aren't they pretty?
Yeah. I'm thirsty.
You want to touch it? You can touch it. It ain't gonna hurt you. Don't break it. Don't break it. That's what grows new potatoes.
Yeah. And dirty. It's dirty. It's dirty.
Yeah, dirty.
And they wash.
Look at the inside.
Purple in here.
Look at the inside. So pretty.
It's purple in here.
It is purple in there.
Yeah.
I have to say, there were a lot more potatoes in the seed bag than I thought there were going to be. I mean, there are quite the number of potatoes in here.
It come naughty out. It come out.
It's funny that my grocery store potatoes, while my eyes aren't as big as the seed potatoes, they have sprouted more than the seed potatoes did.
Wow. It's great.
It's not grape, baby. It's just purple.
Purple and coming out. Wow. It's great. It's touching. I'm touching it.
You're touching it.
Oh, yeah. It's cold. It's cold. It's cold.
So I chose the purple for my seed potatoes because they're going to be very easily identified compared to these other two when it comes harvest time. So we'll see, did the seed potatoes do better than the store-bought ones or not? So the seed potatoes did have way more potatoes in them than my store-bought potatoes, and I think they cost about the same amount. So that's a plus. So I currently just have them going in a 5-gallon bucket. They just need to get some airflow to them and let them scab over. We're only gonna let them sit out here like a day, 2 at the most, and then they're going in the ground. Some of the eyes did break off. Some of them, my trusty little helper, broke off for me, like this. But those should all grow back, so I'm not stressing over it. I had those logs back there to kind of block everybody off from my berry bushes while they started to grow, because they were like this big and nobody could tell where they were at. Those logs are in the way of where my potatoes need to go. And I can't really pick the logs up and carry them out of here. They're waiting until Kenneth has a chance to cut them down so we can carry them out piece by piece, because those will be milled into lumber. They heavy. Heavy. And the other problem is our land back here slants like this. And so as I was planting my berry bushes, they're slanted, and so my potato beds have to slant because, yeah, it's just a hodgepodge garden. Did you just throw roots at me?
Yeah, maybe.
Juju.
What?
So my back row of garden beds should go this way, and my potato beds are directly behind them. Are you throwing dirt on your mama?
Yeah.
Why? Is your daddy teaching you bad habits?
Yeah.
I didn't throw dirt at you. Yeah, go throw that at you.
Excuse you. Throwing roots at your mama. Boy? He thinks he's so funny. Now what? Now what? what?
Yeah.
You're gonna say, no, Mama. No. No, I want the roots at you. So here are these logs that I moved. I put that wood back there to show the back edge of my potato bed. And then those logs, those square logs in the back surround each berry bush. And then behind that is just compost pile. But from standing right here, you can see just how much our property curves around. And so the berry bushes follow the property line. And so my potato bed's gonna kind of be odd shaped, like a little trapezoid or something over here. It'll be alright. As long as potatoes get in the ground, I'm happy. I'm just laying it out just so everybody can see where it's gonna go. Potatoes are going here. Those won't be here once you actually saw them up. But for now, they're the edge of my potato bed.
I'm hungry.
You're hungry?
Yeah.
Well, we'll have dinner in a little bit.
Just make an untangle, neck and untangle. It's such a curve. Be that.
These roots are kicking my butt.
What's kicking my butt?
Yeah, look at them.
They're dirty.
Oh, they're just in my way.
Yeah.
Did you tell Daddy we cut up purple potatoes today?
Yeah.
Were they pretty?
Yeah.
We're going to plant them, aren't we? We'll make purple french fries out of them.
Dang, I thought we was gonna eat them.
He tried to.
I thought we was gonna eat them.
He kept calling them grape potatoes.
Great potatoes.
I have to say, this tiller, this hand tiller, this thing totally has been worth its money. I wonder what the fit farmer would compare this to in workout equipment. Whew. I haven't had a gym membership since before I got pregnant with Declan. Now I definitely don't need one. Okay, friends, so it's obviously the next day. I got the entire potato bed area tilled up, got as much of the roots as I can out of there, and now we are planting our potatoes. I'm going to separate them into rows by colors. So the first row that I'm planting now is going to be our purple potatoes. Next, we'll do our Idaho Gold and then our Idaho Russet brown potatoes. Sorry about the voiceover. I have my music playing and I don't want to copyright from YouTube, so I kind of had to cut the sound off. I have found all kinds of little random potatoes stuck in random places where Declan was trying to help me lay them out. I'm sure a few are going to get planted. If you can see him in that back right-hand corner of the screen, he is over there planting more potatoes in the dirt. So I may have some randomly sprouted potatoes. But here I'm just digging down about an inch or two so that the soil is still loose. And then I am building a mound up above the potatoes because potatoes grow upwards, and so we will continue to heal around our potatoes as they grow, and that way they grow up because our soil that we're growing them in is very hard and it's compact from years and years of roots and everything, and so we want to encourage them to grow up where we can control that the soil is loose. So I'm just going to go through and keep mounding my dirt up on these potatoes as I get them planted. Kenneth is trying to go through and remove any remaining roots that will be down in here. There are some small tree stumps that are about like 4 inches, 5 inches in diameter in this dirt, and so I'm trying to work around those. So some of my potatoes are spaced a little weird. My rows may be a little curved, but we're just making do with what we have, and we have potatoes in the ground, so that's what matters. Okay, so I got my little furrows created. All of my little potato pieces are covered in mounds of dirt. Now I'm going to throw compost on top of those mounds of dirt. I'll come in after everything's composted and layer alfalfa pellets on top of the compost. And then we'll bring in more dirt so that we're layering nutrition for the potatoes to grow up in and keeping everything nice and loose because potatoes really enjoy loose soil. Now we're not going too high with these because we obviously want the potatoes to be able to reach the sun. But as the potato stems keep growing up, we will keep coming back in and throwing more compost, more dirt, more mulch on top of them. Always layering our nutrition and keeping our soil very light and fluffy as the potatoes grow up. How do y'all like Kenneth's shovel here? He managed to break the handle off of our shovel. It's a wooden handle. He did this just earlier in the day when he was trying to get a root up. Declan thinks the handle is a blast to play with, but Kenneth just kept going with this little shovel piece instead of going back to the RV to get the other big shovel, and I'm following in his steps and using Declan's tiny shovel instead of going to get the other big shovel. It's like 200 feet away, but neither of us walked back to the RV to get the big shovel. We just made do with what we had. And I guess that really sums us up fairly well. We just make do with what we have. So now that we have done a layer of dirt, a layer of compost, a layer of alfalfa pellets, I'm going to go through and layer on the mulch. I will do very heavy mulch right over the potato furrows, and then I will also mulch in between them. And the purpose of the mulch is not only to hopefully keep weeds down, but it is to create a layer that covers the dirt to hold in moisture. I am a very lazy gardener, and we are an off-grid family who does not have a well or any city water hookups or anything like that. And so we let the rainwater do as much as we can. So I cover with mulch. That way it holds in the moisture in between rainstorms, and I just let the rain water my beds as much as I absolutely can. It works. It's worked so far, and I hope it will continue to work during the heat of the summer. So mulch is our best friend. We are mulching absolutely everything we can and following the back to Eden method that I'm sure very many of y'all have heard of by now. I'm so dirty, but The potato bed is planted. It only held about half of my potatoes. So now I gotta figure out where else I can plant them. We may try to continue extending it on out this way a little bit more. At this point, I'm just happy to have some of my potatoes actually in the ground. I still have sweet potatoes that need to go down, and then the rest of these that I cut up. And I don't know where they're all going yet, but we'll have potatoes this year. I ended up with randomly planted potatoes by Declan. So some of them may sprout not in rows, but it's okay. It's just extra bonus potatoes. We gotta get cleaned up. We got a function to go to tonight, and I am so incredibly dirty. But we got these planted, and good time because it's supposed to start storming here soon. I'm exhausted. How about you, buddy?
Okay.
So now, in the past 2 days, we got 20 strawberry plants and at least 50 potato plants planted. We still have a whole lot of garden plants to get in, and my tomato seedlings are getting huge. I got to get the rest of the garden planted this coming up week. Anyways, this Sunday is Easter Sunday, so for those of y'all who celebrate, I hope you have a very, very happy Easter. We will see y'all next time, friends. Bye.